not taken a seat, please make yourself comfortable. Grab a seat. My name is Alice Murillo, and I'm the Associate Provost of the Chelsea campus here at Bunker Hill Community College. I'm also a member of the advisory board for this wonderful school after-school community program, and I serve as a member of the board, the Chamber of Chelsea, as well as president of the Neighborhood Developers Board of Chairs. So, want to welcome you to Chelsea. Want to welcome you to this event hosted and prompted by the interests of the foundation of the Chelsea Chamber and all its multiple partners that serve our communities. Before I do my welcome, I want to remind you that we do have refreshments out in the hallway, cookies and drinks, but you must drink them out there because this is a music room and food is not allowed in here. Okay, but feel free at any point in time to step out there, grab what you want to drink, and then come back in or wait till later, whatever works best. Restrooms, as you walk out the doors here, the main entrance to the site, just make a slight left before hitting the counter, and the restrooms are located there. I want to start off by welcoming all of you to this event. Like I said, it takes a team of folks to put this event together. The interest lies in the fact that we realize that small businesses need lots of support in understanding labor law, tax law, the marketing approaches, human resources efforts, and what it takes to take care of your employees and your business, and making sure that your wonderful ideas come to fruition and you have a successful business. We have lots of interest, obviously, from the Chamber of Commerce, interested in having the technical expertise to share and support those interests within the Chelsea community. We have educational institutions like Bunker Hill Community College and our Workforce Development Office also interested in providing credit courses as well as workshops that lead you into the right path of making sure you're doing things the right way and keeping you updated with the changes and regulations that occur. We have the City of Chelsea that is also very interested in making sure that opportunities abound here within the city. So you hear about a wonderful new effort that's been grant funded between the City of Chelsea and Bunker Hill to provide that kind of support and develop an opportunity that will be sustainable and long-standing for the community. We have Tufts Medical and many other partners. I don't have the entire list in front of me, but you do have it on the form that shows all the speakers will be here. Everybody has a vested interest in making a difference in the community that we live and serve, and making sure that businesses thrive, and making sure that people are aware of all the wonderful resources that we put together. Many community-based organizations offer services that sometimes people do not know about. And of course, we know that our entrepreneurs and our small business folks are always so very busy. It's hard to get all the work done, but the resources are here to help that happen. So on behalf of Bunker Hill Community College, the Chelsea Foundation, Chamber of Commerce, the City of Chelsea, and all the other partners who are here, welcome to this event, first time, and we hope it will be an annual event. Thank you for being here and making sure that resources get out to our community members and partners. Welcome, and I will pass it on now to Nader Acevedo, Executive Vice President of Hispanic American Institute.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Nader Acevedo. My name is Nader Acevedo. I'm the Secretary Director of the Hispanic American Institute. We are a non-for-profit organization, a 501c3, established in 1995. And what we do, a lot of what we do is what we're doing today. We seek to connect Latino small businesses with large corporations. And we do that thanks to our sponsors, like Star Headland, Mr. Lopera, Juan Lopera, Maduro Capital Corporation, Allison. Allison, thank you, Allison. One of the things that we started with Allison is that they provide funds to do this, to do technical assistance and advice to the small businesses in the neighborhood. And we have been working with Allison for the past 4 years, and with Juan for many years with Juan. He used to be before with Dr. Rochelle, and we keep the relationship going. In the Institute, we have 3 offices. We work in 3 states. We work in New Mexico, Puerto Rico, and Massachusetts. I am the Executive Vice President of the Boston office. And one of my advisors and consultants is Mr. Alberto Calvo, and a member of the board of directors. And like I said before, what we're doing tonight is what we do best, which is to help you how to connect with institutions. One of them is Banco Hill Community College. This is the second time that we partner with you. Dr. Murillo, thank you very much. Good evening, enjoy it, and you have a great panel here.
Well, I'm Alberto Calvo, as another said. I'll be the moderator for the panel. I have to apologize. We had a translation equipment here, but we don't know how it operates. So we can do this in Spanglish. Mitad español y mitad inglés. Pero if you can maybe partner, I mean, if you can partner with someone that. Anyway, let's move on. Okay. So here's the agenda. We have a busy agenda. Okay. So I will ask the panelists to speak fast and save the questions to the end, because what we would like to hear is from you. We have a very distinguished panel here. I mean, you basically ranging from affordable health care to building capacity and financing for achieving business growth. So, and the keynote is first. I know. So to start out, we have a keynote presentation by Juan Lopera, one of the partners of making this possible. So Juan, can you come up and say a few words?
Alberto, definitely give it up for the Hispanic American Institute. Thank you for putting this together. As Nader mentioned, we kind of go a long ways when we had less gray hair, and now I carry the Alberto last name. Calvo. Calvo soy yo. About less hair. It's a pleasure, un placer estar aquí con ustedes. My name is Juan Lopera. I'm Vice President of Marketing for the Public Plans Division for Tufts Health Plan. So Tufts Health Plan has three major lines of business. We have what we call public plans, which is where we offer Medicaid, as well as small business insurance options. We also have our commercial insurance for larger employers, and we have Medicare for people who are who qualify over the age of 65 for Medicare. So that's one of the things that makes Tufts Health Plan unique, is we are the only plan in Massachusetts that covers everyone regardless of the circumstance, whether you're low income and qualify for Medicaid, whether you're a small business owner, as many of you are here tonight, or if you're of age and require Medicare. So we're pleased to spend the evening with you. Thank you, Dr. Murillo, for the great work and partnership with Bunker Hill. You're probably well aware that Tufts has actually had a partnership going on some time now with Bunker Hill, and I'll just speak to that for a second. It's a pretty innovative solution. So Tufts, in another role that I have, which is I'm the diversity officer for the company, we try to advance the way that healthcare is delivered to the community, particularly the Latino community. So we partner with Bunker Hill. We actually stole an idea that Bunker Hill created with East Boston Neighborhood Health Center. They created a multicultural program, essentially to certify individuals to translate, to be medical interpreters. So we said, well, that's a great program and it works for people seeking care at East Boston. We want a similar program like that at Tufts Health Plan. So we created what we call the Multicultural Service Program. And that program trains our call center staff. So if you call into Tufts Health Plan, if you prefer to speak to us in Spanish, you're likely to have a qualified, certified through Bunker Hill professional who's going to help you navigate the complexity of health insurance, which we know healthcare is very complicated. So it was a great partnership. Thank you for the support. And that program this week graduates the third class. We now have about 35 people who've gone through that program who are serving our members in their language, because we know how important that is. It's not just being able to speak the language, but it's understand the culture, understand how to engage with the family to meet their healthcare needs. So we're thrilled about that. Given the theme tonight, I wanted to share a story. And actually, as I was walking here, I went by the restaurant. How many of you have been to Casa Mariachi, the restaurant right around the corner? Okay. So we, Tufts, a few years ago, in 2016, did a similar workshop at East Boston Neighborhood Health Center. They hosted us, and we had a workshop. And I met an individual who's the owner of Casa Mariachi, Alcide. Alcide came and met with me several times, and his story is very unique and very apropos for today. Alcide is a very successful business owner. He has his restaurant. He also has several real estate properties, so he's in the real estate business. And then I find out he keeps a part-time job at a Marriott just so he can provide health insurance to himself and his family. And that to me was just an eye-opener. And I said, wow, you're spending 30 hours a week working, killing yourself at a Marriott instead of spending the time in your business, growing your business. Also, you can have access to affordable health insurance. So we met several times. He came over to Watertown. I came and met him, then it was such an amazing experiment for me because I realized how complicated it is for any of you, a small business owner, to understand the options for health insurance. But we also know how important it is. In the case of Alcide, he knew how important it was to cover himself and his family, but also to be an attractive employer, to bring more people to work for him, offering benefits was a really important factor. So we sat down and went through the whole process, and even though I worked and had spent 30, well, not 30 years, I'm aging myself a little too much, 20 years in healthcare, it was still eye-opening to walk through that process with him. So that's part of what you'll hear from Tufts. Members of my team will speak about how to make healthcare. It's very complicated and it's very expensive. That's just the reality. But how to make it less complicated and how to think about making it less expensive and different options. So we're going to be a resource to you. Members of my team will speak to that in a little while. I won't spend much more time because we have great resources to talk not just about health insurance, but also to talk about options for financing and other resources that are available to you. So without further ado, I just want to say thank you, and I hope you find the resources provided to you this evening helpful. I know several people I've talked to in the past when we've done this have found it helpful. We won't answer all your questions. We just want to give you enough so you can be curious and then come and engage with any of us to find out more. So without further ado, I guess I'll turn it back over to el calvo que tiene pelo.
El calvo peludo. Thank you, Juan. So now we're going to go and hopefully go ahead. Nader already talked about Hispanic American Institute, right? Okay, so Hispanic American Institute. Nader already talked about it. So I'm going to skip this for the sake of time because we want a very healthy discussion afterwards. We're here to hear from you what your needs are, okay? Oh, and by the way, this is being televised and it's going to be in the community TV, no? Of Chelsea. Very good. So, okay, so you've heard from this now, and this is the contact information and all that. Alice Murillo already talked, Tufts Health Plan. Okay, here's a presentation that Juan said about details of the affordable health. So I want to bring Shauna Vera and Crismaldi Casado, both of you are going to walk through this part of the presentation. And I have to apologize because her bios are not in the package that you have, but they are wonderful individuals from the community services, right? But maybe you can say a little bit more.
Buenas tardes a todos. Good afternoon, good evening. So as Alberto mentioned, both Shauna and I are with Tufts Health Plan and in the Public Plans Division. And my background is in community development, philanthropy, and doing various work in community. And Shauna has extensive experience in the healthcare industry. And in our department, our role is really to help the community demystify what healthcare is in various areas. So whether it's Medicaid, whether it's small businesses, it's really about bringing access and bringing education that really helps people understand it, because we understand it's really complicated. So our job is very similar to what we're doing today, really providing information that helps lead to better understanding and helping people make smart choices about the options that they have. So our presentation today is going to be structured in a way of really thinking about the myths in healthcare. So we hear very often concerns and things that come out in community, and what we want to do is bring some light to the truth in those issues. So I'll bring Shauna up.
Buenas tardes. So we hear a lot, health insurance is really complicated, and it is, but it doesn't have to be. So the main message here is that we as individuals are all required to have health insurance. I think most of us know that. But not all businesses offer it, right? Small businesses are not required to, so if you have less than 50 employees, you're not required to offer group coverage to your employees. But it is a really attractive way to bring in and retain the best talent, right? We all need health insurance. We're looking for jobs that offer it. Most people don't realize that you only need one other employee besides yourself as the owner to get group coverage, right? So you don't need an army of 5, 10, 15, 20 people. It could be you and your spouse. You and one other person, and you can take advantage of the tax benefits that are available to you as the owner if you get group coverage, right? And so you can bring in and retain the best talent and take advantage of the tax benefits. You already have to have health insurance for you and your family. Why not get it through a group coverage offer? And so it's something that we find that, like I said, a lot of people don't know, but it is something that really people might want to take advantage of.
Another misconception is there are not enough options for health insurance for small businesses. And this one comes from just the historical context of health insurance, and then also access, right? A lot of small businesses don't have an HR department that they can go to and really understand and dig into the process. And part of what we want to share is there are resources to help small businesses really understand it. And part of what we wanted to do today is think about, to share with you some of the trade-offs that businesses think about as they're deciding on health insurance. For small businesses, affordability is really important, right? And being able to afford it is going to take making some trade-offs and understanding just the complexity and what the different mechanical pieces of health insurance are can help you think about what is the best option for me and for my employees and for my business. So some of the trade-offs that you're making as you're thinking about health insurance include the network, right? So there are different options, and some are lower cost premiums and some are higher cost premiums. And premiums are the monthly cost of health insurance for your employees. So if you have a more limited network or tiered network, you have access to a certain amount of providers, and if you have a full network, then you have more options. And the trade-off there is, with a lower premium, you probably have access to a more limited network. But here in Massachusetts, we have the top medical facilities. So regardless of the network that you have access to, you have access to quality health care. Another important differentiation is the referral or management of care. And this is where you'll see the difference between a HMO and a PPO. And essentially what that means is whether you have a primary care provider that's managing your care, meaning they have to make referrals for you to see other providers and specialties, or whether you have more of a freedom with a PPO where you can go to different specialties without having to have this referral. And the difference and the trade-off there is the autonomy that you have and the options that you have versus a lower cost because somebody's helping you manage that care. The other one is really the employee cost and the cost share. So there you're thinking about when you have a lower premium, you're typically looking at a health insurance that has either a higher deductible, that's the amount of money you're paying out of pocket before the insurance kicks in, or a higher copay typically. And then with a higher premium, now if you're paying more per month, you're thinking about a lower deductible or copay. So essentially when you're thinking about all of these variables, regardless of if it's a lower premium or a higher premium, you have access to essential healthcare benefits, you have access to great providers. It just, for you, it's really sitting down and thinking about what does my business need, what do my employees need, and what trade-offs can I make? Because there are some trade-offs that you can make to be able to afford health insurance.
And so a lot of what we've just said might still seem confusing, right? There's a lot of big words that we throw out there, and there's a lot of words that maybe we don't all know. What's a deductible, a copay, a premium, a limited network? I don't understand all of this, right? There are resources dedicated to walking you through this whole system. They're called brokers, and they are no cost to you. So their job is to walk you through the entire system of navigating health insurance from start to finish. They work for you. They are trying to understand your interests, your needs, and they're sourcing all of the different options out there for you. They're answering your questions night and day, and they're there to help you understand what your options are, what the costs are, what should I be going for, and there are a lot of resources out there now to help you navigate all of those steps along the way. And so in the packets that we left on your chairs, you might have a white folder. If you don't, we have extras. The slides we shared are in there, as well as some additional resources. So there's some information on our plans, Tufts Health Plan, the costs and the benefits there, as well as a flyer from the Health Connector. I'm not sure if you all know of the Health Connector. It's the exchange. It's where you can go to shop for health insurance. There's a really attractive wellness rebate program. So as an employer, as a business owner, if you have group coverage, you can actually get 15% back as a rebate at the end of the year on the premiums that you paid if 33% of your employees participate in a wellness activity. Like if they go to a yoga class. Really simple. Happy to answer any questions that you have afterward. It's a really attractive benefit and really very easily attainable. So there's a lot of resources out there. We're happy to walk through any questions that you have afterward. But just know that there are people out there to help.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. It was an excellent presentation. Just, I'm in a special case. Well, maybe some of you are out there too. Medicare. And Medicare is different. There's a Part A and a Part B and a Part C and a Part D, and I don't understand anything. But I got a brochure from Tufts that helped me understand the options. And because we as consumers of health have to understand the options. I mean, I'm the owner of Stop and Compare, right? A grocery store, so you go there, and La Yuca, you know what a yuca is? They bang it and they look at it, this is good. Now in healthcare, it's something different. Very complicated. Anyhow, okay, so let me go to the next, resources. By the way, if you want a copy of this presentation, just leave us your email address and we'll send it to you. Okay? There you go. Next. Okay, healthy business, right? Healthy business is healthcare. Are you healthy to operate the business? Now, the other part is, do you have enough money to operate the business? And here we have Alison Moronta from Mass Growth Capital Corporation that will give us a very nice presentation.
Hi everyone. Buenas tardes. ¿Cómo están todos? Good afternoon. My name is Alison Moronta. I'm a loan officer and grant program manager at Mastros Capital Corporation. I know you are getting a lot of information today. I will try to be very specific and simple of who we are, what we do. And I want you to pay attention when I talk about resources. But before I start, I would like to have an idea in terms of the participation here. How many of you are business owners? Could you raise your hand? Okay, great majority. How many of you have received business technical assistance or business consultation to start your business, to grow your business? There's one here. Okay. So that helped me to be able to direct my conversation. So who we are Mastros Capital Corporation, also known as MGCC, or Mastros Capital. We're a quasi-state financial agency located in Charlestown, not too far from here. We serve the entire state, and our mission is to create and preserve jobs in Massachusetts, more businesses. That includes businesses owned by immigrant, minority, veterans, women-owned businesses, all businesses across the state that are located in underserved communities. As well, our mission is to create economic opportunities in those neighborhoods, in low and moderate income communities, and gateway cities across the state. So who we are again, we are not only a lender, an alternative lender, but we also represent the place where businesses can reach out to resources and can connect with resources. So we are a central state resource that offer working capital, loan guarantees, and targeted technical assistance. I will explain more about this. So this organization started in the year 2010. We were merged of two quasi-states. I don't want to enter into that conversation, but I just wanted to let you know that since we were launched, we have financed over 122 million. And that is, every region in the state. As well, we offer this more grants to organizations, nonprofit organizations that work directly with small businesses. And since that time, we have funded over 12 million. And this is a state funding program, which I'm going to develop more later on. And this particular program is probably one of the resources that you would like to better understand, because it's not only a resource, but it's always it's local, it's available in your community, but it also you can, whenever you go, you can ask it and connect with different organizations. They can help you with your business. So what do we offer? We offer access to capital, financial solution, where banks cannot lend. We offer the opportunity to those businesses that are not bankable and have difficult time getting financing to the traditional banking, to get financing to grow their business. We don't necessarily do a startup, but we connect the businesses with organizations that can help them with financing. So our lending products are similar to any other bank. We have also flexible terms. We collaborate with partners, organizations, and banks, and I'm going to develop more about that. But we are not based on credit score, so we have a lot of flexibility in comparison with other banks. We also build capacity of organization, as I mentioned before, but we also provide a program with technical assistance. When we have a business applying for financing and they need assistance with their creating a financial statement, for example, and if they're not ready, we can give them a matching grant to help them put together the information, hire professional service providers, so they are more ready really to apply for financing. We also, as well, throughout the year, usually by the end of the year into June, every year we offer mini grants And when we have funding available, these mini grants are available through our grantees. I'm going to talk a little more about that. This year we have limited funding, but for that purpose, but typically the mini grants offer up to $2,500 to contribute with the small businesses so they can hire a professional service provider, and we come to support with 75% of the cost of the total project. At Mastros Capital, we offer different lending products, including line of credit, term loans. We offer guarantee on bank debt, bonding line of credit, co-lending, gap financing. We're also doing a small SBA loan, a small business administration loan, up to $50,000. Our loans range from $5,000 to $1 million. Long term can go from 2 years to 5 years. The intention is to help you, resolve a situation, particular situation, but be able to graduate and be capable to access financing through the traditional banking. So we are a short-term solution. We also, some of our lending products offer the opportunity to look into a credit score minimum of 600, which is great. Typically, banks would ask for 650, 680, so we can go as low as 600. The way we work, we don't market our product directly to the small businesses, so we don't go and visit business by business, but we work with partners who are organizations located in your community, like the Chelsea Chamber of Commerce, Chelsea Chamber Foundation, the Hispanic American Institute, SBA, SBDC, Small Business Development Center, Community Development Corporation, and different banks. So that's how we connect with the community in regards to lending. Now I want to talk about the resources, the business consultant, technical assistant, which is, I believe, is the resource that you haven't asked in many ways, based on the response to my question. So I do know that you are connected with the Hispanic American Institute. How many of you are connected with the Hispanic American Institute? With Nader and Alberto? Okay, I imagine that that's how you learn about this event today. So just to put it simple, the Hispanic American Institute and the Chelsea Chamber of Commerce are local resources. And the way we work is that we support with small grants their operations so they can do activities like this. They can bring information to the business community. They can have a staff helping you with one-on-one consultation. I believe this is our third or fourth year supporting the Hispanic American Institute, but we have a network of business consultants, of technical assistant provider. So our technical assistant ecosystem go beyond that. We have currently 47 organizations across the state where you can get services for free. Services that include business assistant for business planning, someone to help you with a loan application, for example. Any problem that your business can be facing from starting to grow and in between. Services that, get information where to get legal assistance, even pro bono legal assistance. Many of the organizations that we have today in the North area, I believe like 7 or 8 organizations we cover. So I put on your chair a brochure that looks like this. And that brochure offers further information on all the organizations that we currently have for the fiscal year 2019. In that brochure, we have about 40 organizations, but this year we have 47. So no matter where you are, where your business is located, you can go there. You don't know where to go, we are your resource. My name is Alison Moronta, and I can be reached at Mastros Capital Corporation. My phone number is 617-337-2820. I put my brochure and business card over there. I will stay here for questions as well. So you are looking for resources, you need information of where to go for financing, and specifically if you have been going through difficult times, challenges, we're happy to support you. Let me see any additional information. So this program specifically will work with businesses with less than 20 employees, so I believe you all qualify. And the services are free of charge. And as of today, since this program was launched back in 2007, NGCC started managing this funding, which is a state funding, in the year 2011. And we have covered over 85% of the population that we have served with representation of minority groups. So definitely we can offer the staff with the expertise as well as the understanding of your culture. So the approach to service is to offer a cultural appropriate service as well as a holistic approach. What that means is that you have a particular program when you enter the door, and they do an assessment of your situation, and then they identify what resources you could need for your business. And if they cannot resolve the program, they will bring another business consultant to help you. So what else? That's it. Yeah. So I will be happy to answer all your questions, I guess. Thank you.
Gracias, Alison. Yes, as he said, Hispanic American Institute, along with Chelsea Chamber Foundation, who you'll hear soon, have received this grant, and we're ready to help out on one-on-one. So if you need access to capital to grow your business or sustain your business, marketing, legal, any of those requirements that you may have, come see us. Nader, I think, has intake forms. I don't know, do you remember? He has intake forms. You can take that, fill it out here, and then the program works is we'll have one-on-one counseling. Daisy Paraguay from the Community Chelsea Foundation will be speaking, particularly on program, and she would be taking care of the Chelsea business, but I know that some of you are outside. So. Anyhow, now we go to education, the bedrock of this country. So there's an interesting program emerging. Carl Allen from the City of Chelsea Economic Development and Planning, and Kristen McKenna, Director of Workforce Development from Bunker Hill Community College, have joined forces, and they will announce a new upcoming education program for small businesses. So stay tuned and bear with us. There's food out there, but I don't want to announce that because you escape. So Carl and Kristen and Carl. Who goes first? Carl go first.
Again, my name is Carl Allen. I'm the Economic Development Planner for the City of Chelsea. Whether you live in Chelsea, work in Chelsea, or this is your first time visiting, welcome, and I hope you come back. So this past summer, the City of Chelsea, in conjunction with the City of Everett, was awarded a planning grant from the Massachusetts Gaming Commission to do the planning to set up a trilingual enterprise center for entrepreneurship based at Bunker Hill Community College. So how this is slightly different is we're looking at it, at least initially, as delivering services in English, Spanish, and Portuguese. And we're working with Bunker Hill to take parts of their curricula that are relevant to entrepreneurs and businesses, and to translate them so that the paradigm doesn't have to be, in order to access education, you first have to access English. So that's kind of the theory behind that. We just got the grant. We're in the process of finalizing our scope of work, which I hope to submit to Mass Gaming this week. I'm actually looking for some feedback, and be very interested in your questions, because that can influence the final scope of work that I'm going to submit. And the first phase of this project is a needs assessment, because we don't want to presume that we know what the community needs. We've hired our NAPSI, our local regional planning agency, to conduct that needs assessment, and we're going to be including surveys of small businesses to kind of have a low-touch way for you to tell us what your needs are. And we're also going to have some fora where we engage many to just talk through some of the issues that you face and how education can help solve them going into the future. Hopefully, Nadia will give us access to the emails of everyone who signed up, and when we send out the questionnaire, we'll be sending it out to all of you. I hope you respond, and we'll also invite you to come to some of our sessions, and if you could possibly make it, that would be great.
Buenas tardes. So my name is Kristen McKenna. I'm the Dean of Workforce and Economic Development for Bunker Hill Community College. And so partnering with Carl's office and the city of Everett as well, we would like to be able to develop this enterprise center, exactly as Carl said, with the businesses in mind that are in Chelsea and Everett. We have some preliminary ideas of some of the courses that we could offer, or some of the workshops or seminars. We're looking primarily at business and hospitality as two areas that we could take some of the curricula that we already offer at Bunker Hill, and we could translate it into Spanish and be able to break it down into workshops that would help local businesses. So some of the suggestions, and I have some information that I'm going to put back on the table over there for you to look at. It also has my contact information. But some of the things in terms of food certification, ServSafe, and some of the certifications that restaurants and food-related businesses might need, we hope to translate some of those materials into Spanish and to even offer the test in Spanish if necessary. We're looking to help businesses with social media marketing, understanding that marketing is extremely important. You want to be able to market to your customers, and looking at some of the technology and the innovative ways that we could help you learn to market to your customers, and also bilingually if you need that. Things like principles of management and other business classes, we'd like to be able to offer that. We actually just recently partnered with Amazon Small Business, and we will be offering a non-credit class in the springtime to help entrepreneurs who want to start a business. So that's an exciting thing that's happening, and there will be more details on the Bunker Hill website as soon as we get that going. Other classes, we can offer English in your business if you want your employees to learn more English to be helpful to grow your business. And so we already do that through the Division of Workforce and Economic Development. We also talked about maybe helping businesses with business regulations and the things that the cities and the states require you to do, which are quite cumbersome. And another thing I wanted to mention is that the state has the Workforce Training Fund. And a Workforce Training Fund can help a business train employees with match funding. And you don't have to be a large business to access the Workforce Training Fund. We will be having an information session on December 4th from 9:30 to 11:30 in the morning at the main campus of Bunker Hill to talk about how local businesses can access the Workforce Training Fund and maybe find some of those resources that you need to help train your employees more and whatever your need is. So those are just some preliminary ideas, and as Carl said, we really need to do the needs assessment and we really need your feedback in order to build the enterprise center that actually serves you, employers and businesses in Chelsea and Everett. That piece of it is extremely important so that we build an enterprise center that's effective and useful for the community and especially the business community. So,
just one more point. The project is being sponsored by the cities of Everett and Chelsea, but it's a regional resource. We're not, kind of limiting our scope. We want to serve the entire area from East Boston to Malden to Revere. And, it's an educational resource that we're trying to provide through the Commonwealth for the benefit of all of our residents.
Thank you, Carl and Kristen. You see, that's the partnerships and the resources that businesses need, particularly businesses downtown Broadway. There's a fellow here, the fellow taking photos. He walked Broadway and he delivered, hand-delivered an invitation to the seminar to business owners. 120, if I'm not mistaken. 120 Latino businesses that are on Broadway. Oh, who hasn't been to Broadway here? Sorry, Franklin, but we'll persist, because they have to learn that of these resources. So this is an excellent program. Now we're going from, in the Chelsea, we have in the Chelsea Chamber of Commerce, which is centrally located, 308 Broadway. You can walk to the chamber. And now the chamber has developed this business foundation, which is a C3 organization, just launched. And the first good decision that they made was to hire Daisy Paraguay. And Daisy sits in 308 Broadway, and she's there waiting for your visit to offer one-on-one counseling and referral. And please, this is Daisy.
Buenos tardes, everyone, and good afternoon. My name is Daisy Paraguay. I'm Business Project Manager at the Chelsea Business Foundation. As Alberto said, we are located at 308 Broadway, at the same place as the Chelsea Chamber of Commerce. And the foundation provides support for local businesses in Chelsea. And our goal is to spark the economic development here, and through business growth, job creation, and also sustainability of the local businesses in Chelsea as well. And you might are thinking and asking yourself, okay, but how the foundation achieved this goal, and how are the services that they provide, right? So we provide technical assistance. As Alberto said, is one-on-one technical assistance. And the technical assistance, it can be some help that the business needs. For example, if the business needs to create and to develop a business plan or a marketing plan, or if the business needs to have access to capital. We have some partnership, for example, with Allison, with MGCC, with CRC as well, and with local banks, that we do this connection, the small businesses with the access to capital.
Because, for example, sometimes they have all the checklists and all the documentations that the small business need to have ready to be able to apply for the capital, right? And we are this connection from the small business and where the money is. Another thing, we do, for example, point of sales strategy. We do a variety of small business support. And how we are able to do that? We have some grants that we have some grants, for example, the one from HAI, the one from the City of Chelsea, the one from TDI local, Carlos is here, through Mass Development as well. And through those grants, we are able to offer the technical assistance. I have some brochures on the table there when we finish here. Also some technical assistance application form as well. Everybody that wants to know more about that, you can just ask me questions. I will be more than happy to answer the questions and also to help you to fill out the form as well. Another important point that is good just to highlight, we provide all the technical assistance in English, in Spanish, also in Portuguese as well, that we all know that is very important in our community here in Chelsea. Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, just ask me in the end. I will be happy to answer it. Thank you.
I have to say to Daisy, obrigado. No, gracias, obrigado. Okay, this is an initiative, so I have this opportunity to introduce to you someone that has behind the creation of this foundation. City Manager Tom Ambrosino, the City of Chelsea, who has essentially funded part of this foundation as part of the initiative of enhancing Broadway so that we can have the businesses of Broadway scale up and become a real force in the North Shore. And also, I want to introduce Carlos Matos for a minute. TDI. TDI, you know what TDI means? This is a test. Transformative Development Initiative. Did I get that right? All right. So that the TDI is money that comes from the state, okay? And the City of Chelsea, along with the Chelsea Chamber, applied for those funds, and we were one of several cities that got the grant, right? So Carlos and Daisy and the Chelsea Chamber and the Chelsea Chamber Foundation are working together to develop this program. She didn't mention two other programs they have, which is sign improvement, right? Sign improvement and technical assistance. So that program, and then that brochure, please take one before you leave. So let me continue and now give the floor to Diego Portillo, who is the director of Inner City Capital Corporation, and he will explain this program.
Gracias. So you've heard a lot about different resources in the room, and the question is, why does it matter? Why does it matter to you as a small business owner? The truth is, despite all the work that has been done by organizations like Mass Growth Capital, minority-owned businesses are still 2 times more likely to be turned down for capital. Hispanic business owners are 25% more likely to not even apply for capital because they're afraid of rejection. It's even worse for Latino women business owners, and it gets even worse for Black-owned entrepreneurs. So why does it matter? All these resources are here to try to bridge that racial wealth gap that builds And what happens once you don't get capital? The truth is, as we look at businesses after Hispanic male-owned businesses are still likely to be half the size of a white-owned business. And if we're talking about Latino-owned businesses, they're still smaller than that. Probably about half the size of the business owned by Hispanic men. So all this keeps translating one step after the other. So what we started, and I represent an organization called the Initiative for a Competitive Inner City, and I run a program called the Inner City Capital Connections. So there's a lot of I's and a lot of C's, and I will keep you moving on that. We started 25 years ago with the work of Dr. Michael Porter out of Harvard Business School, because there was a lot of conversations about inner cities or urban cores in this country. There's over 360 cities that would classify, having populations of over 75,000 people, high levels of unemployment, high levels of poverty. And 25 years ago, most of those places were just kind of forgotten. There wasn't a bank in downtown Roxbury at all. There wasn't a branch down there. Today you'll find two more coming in the next year. So there is suddenly a rebirth, and Dr. Porter looked at it and said, no, there are thriving businesses in these communities. They're not just thriving, in many cases they're also businesses that are bedrocks of this community. They provide employment, they provide work, they provide hope for those communities, and that's what creates wealth. So we created our first program, the Inner City Capital Connections program, because what came through as the biggest challenge for most business owners was not just the access to capital, but the knowledge of capital. Already today you've heard Juan talk about how healthcare is complicated. And if you're a business owner, you somehow need to be an expert on healthcare for your employees. You've heard people talk about capital is complicated. And if you're a business owner, you probably need to be an expert on how to obtain and manage capital. If you're a business owner and you employ people, you also have to be a great person on talent management, on all the other things that go with having people on your team. You also have to be great at sales and marketing. You can't just be great at whatever it is that you build. So we've built a series of programs that help create that combination of capacity building, access and knowledge of capital, coaching, and all the other connections in between. The one at the very top is our Inner City 100 Awards, which recognizes the 100 fastest growing businesses in inner cities across the country. Partly because it's important to keep reinforcing that these businesses are growing, thriving, and making a big impact in their community. A couple of the lessons that we've learned from those fastest growing businesses are they do offer health care and they offer retirement plans to their employees as ways of retaining and maintaining talent. My program, as I mentioned, is fondly described as a 40-hour mini MBA on steroids. Part of it in person. We do one-day opening seminar in 14 cities across the country. We have a couple of alumni in the room, including Alberto Calvo, who can talk to you about the power of the program. And we continue that with webinars. This year we ran already 18 webinars, and we're about to run another 6. One-on-one coaching. And then our national conference, which brings in the business owners from across the country. And I will say that what we see across the country is there are places like Boston that has a wealth of resources. You have multiple capital providers in Boston, and sometimes it becomes difficult to know which one to approach. There are multiple organizations that do business technical assistance or coaching or some sort of help with things other than capital. And that can get complicated too because they all do it slightly differently. And what we do is a lot of the brochures. In other cities, there may be no access to capital. Just came from Portland, Oregon, and there is literally only one organization doing any sort of equity lending in Portland. So if you're a business owner in Portland, you're probably going to California to seek equity capital. Here, we don't have that problem, but sometimes what becomes the counter problem is there are so many resources that it becomes difficult to navigate the landscape. And that's where programs like the one Daisy was talking about, go in and meet with somebody, meet with Alberto, and tell them what your problem is, what you're trying to achieve, and that will get you to the right program. We, for example, work only with businesses that are past the startup stage. E4All, SCORE, Chamber, they all have programs for startups and pre-startup programs. When we're talking about capital, we can either connect you with a large organization like Bank of America, or we can connect you with a CDFI, like Mass Growth Capital. We can connect you with a GMAP project. There are a number of different options out there, and I think that's a great place to combine all those things and say, reach out to any one of the people that just spoke out today, because we all connect with each other in some way and can help you get to that next resource that you need. So with that, I'll turn it back to Alberto and do the questions.
Yeah, gracias. Thank you, Darryl. I have to say I participated in this program about 2 or 3 years ago, and it's quite the program. Zero cost, my friends, and I don't know if you know Michael Porter from Harvard Business School. He was there, and that was worth the. No, but then it was followed by webinars, and it's an excellent program. So, okay, so before we enter the Q&A, I would like to lend the floor to Encore Boston. Her name is from anyone? There you are. She's going to talk a little bit about the program they have for their employees. You know that little casino, right? Everybody has well, they have 4,000 employees? Almost 5,000 employees, and those employees have to eat and all that. She is going to explain the benefits program for local businesses.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting us here. We're happy to be part of this event. My name is Diana. Like Alberto said, we're from Encore Boston Harbor. My colleague Jasmine is also here as well. We work in the Human Resources Department for the new Integrated Resort and Casino over in Everett. We hope all of you guys have checked it out or plan to in the future. Like it was mentioned, we run a program over there called We Save. And basically, we partner with local and national companies, and they get free advertisement with our over 5,000 employees, and they can offer services and products to our employees through discounts, promotions, any kind of offer that you guys would like to extend to our team members. Some of the current companies that we have currently partnered with are Boston Sports Club over in Medford. We've partnered with Apple. We've partnered with T-Mobile, Samsung, AT&T to get a lot of phone discounts and promotions. We've partnered with the YMCA in Malden, Carter's Dry Cleaners in Everett, just to name a few. We have plenty others up on our local page for all of our team members to view. So we would really love to speak with anyone who's interested in this program with our team members at Encore. If you'd like to offer any of your services or just kind of get your word out about your business. We have some cards that we'll hand out to you guys at the end. But me and Jasmine will stick around if anyone has any questions, okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You have to meet my fellow. Oh, he left. Because Stop and Compare would like to sell to your employees that are a lot here. Market Basket is not a member, right? Good. All right. Tom Ambrosino, he's the city manager. And I know that he's spending a lot of money, and in a good way. So
Yeah, I'll be very brief because I know you all wish to eat and network, but I am the city manager here in Chelsea. We really do try hard to engage local businesses and small businesses. It is difficult, but we continue to try our best. We are working very closely with the Chamber Foundation in order to improve the programs we put out to small businesses. We think that these most recent pilots that we have for both technical assistance and for the storefront improvement may go a long way towards actually convincing small business owners that the city really is trying to meet their needs. Both of those programs are direct grant programs, very little barrier to entry, little barrier to apply, and we're trying to get money out the door quickly, show some quick improvements, and demonstrate to small business owners, particularly in the Broadway corridor, that the city really can be a good partner with them. So I'm very grateful to the work that the Chamber Foundation has done, and the city is really trying to be a good collaborative partner. Thanks.
Thank you, Tom. And with that, concluding the remarks, we can, there's a table full of food, sandwiches, and out there, and please network. That's, you know, and there's a table here full of information. So thank you very much for coming, and hope to see you soon. Thank you.